I'm Stephen Lawhorn. I'm the president and founder of Superior Combative Championships. Superior Combative Championships, or better known as SCC, was founded in 2012. We did our first event in Galveston, Texas at the Convention Center, which is where we'll be returning on February 15th. I think we have a great card starting off the night. Don't hold me on the order of these, but Michael Gonzalez, coming from Kumo out of Eagle Pass, fights for Paulo Alcazar. Paulo's been with us from day one 3 years ago. He's bringing in his guy 205. He's going to be fighting Casey Malik. Casey Malik's coming out of right here out of Texas City from American Fitness and Martial Arts. He's still looking to get that win. I'm looking for that to be a good fight. We're going to debut from Bushiban. Bushiban's been a great supporter of SEC. Jesse Pittner. And I got a great call from Shin to Bone. It's an organization that's training a guy named Will Morse. Will is ready to step up there. Will is going to step in on his debut against Jesse. They're going to be fighting at 170 pounds. I'm really excited about that. We also have Timothy Nations versus Isaac Cruzado going to be battling it out. If you'll remember, Isaac Cruzado actually fought at 135 for the title in our last bouts. He has decided to step up to 155 pounds. That's a big step up to 155. His record being at 4-3. Timothy Nations being more of this is only like his third fight. So Timothy stepping up in competition and Isaac stepping up in weight class. I look for that to be a good battle. I couldn't pick how that's going to go. We're bringing in Jacob Norsworthy. Jacob Norsworthy is another kid. He's from East Texas, where I'm from. When he wanted a shot, I gave him a shot. Versus Robert Walker. Robert Walker has fought for us before. Robert actually has a brother. Call him the Walker Boys. We have EJ Turner, one of the Turner boys. Glad to have these brothers. I love it when we have families that are involved with SEC as us being a family. We got EJ Turner. He had a little bit trouble with his weight cut this time. EJ normally would fight at 145. 135. Don't hold me to that, but I don't have the notes of what weight they're stemming. EJ had a little bit of trouble with his cut. He decided to step up, and he's fighting Frank Rodriguez at a little bit higher weight class than these next two. And Frank's coming from Macaco's Gym Gold Team, and they always bring it. Okay. We got the other brother, Daniel Turner, who's stepping up versus Nico Daly at 125 pounds. This is going to be his third fight for SCC. He's still looking to get that first W. I look for that to be a challenge. The Turner boys always bring it. We have local Tyler Morrison. He's stepping back in the cage. The last time he fought against Danny Orr, who's actually going to be on the card again. We'll talk about that here in a few minutes. But Tyler took that fight short notice. This time he's been training in camp with Randy Hauer for about 60 days. And I look for Tyler to be a lot more prepared this time. Tyler's going to be stepping up in against Edward Gonzalez. Now, Edward Gonzalez won his last fight at SCC. Edward, I believe, is 2-0, and he's going to be a challenge. There's not any fights on here that's not going to be a challenge for anybody. I'm really excited to get in and talk about the main event, and that's the last three fights of the night, and those are all going to be for title belts. I'm going to start off by talking about David Kelly. Now, David Kelly was a young man that came to me about 3 fights ago, I do believe, and David had always competed in kickboxing tournaments and everything, and if I'm not mistaken, he was 6-0. He wanted to try his hand at fighting in mixed martial arts. Had always been a dream of his. I checked into his background. He did have a blue belt in Jiu-Jitsu, and I said, why not? We gave David his first shot in SEC, and he won fight of the night. He even won, I believe SEC fans voted that fight for fight of the year for SEC in 2013. It was a battle between him and Andrew Miller. The fans loved him. He picked up instant fans, so I brought him back in his second fight ever to fight in Pasadena against another high caliber opponent. They said only bring us the best. He fought against a Bushiban fighter that night. He came back from being beat in the last 7 seconds in the first round and after being slammed several times, won by submission rear naked choke, and that rear naked choke won submission of the year 2013. He's only had 2 sanctioned fights for us. Generally, before we give a title shot, we require you to be at least going into your 4th fight. Not with necessarily SCC, but just in general in sanctioned MMA period. We felt like David was a contender, so we offered him a belt opportunity in this next fight. Now, his opponent, it's not going to be an easy one. His opponent is Dominic Wiltz. Now, Dominic has been a loyal SCC fighter since day one. Dominic's in his 3rd calendar year with the SCC. He comes out of American Fitness and Martial Arts. He's 3-0. Dominic has fallen as low as 155 and stepped up as high as 170 and still is undefeated. We're going to be pairing the two against each other. Dominic versus David Kelly. With the odds coming out, it started out Dominic was the heavy favorite, and then David became the favorite. Then it went to even. I could not tell you what's going to happen. I can tell you it's going to be an exciting fight, and David is going to step forward, and Dominic is too. It's going to be an exciting fight. I'm really looking forward to that one. We can't forget about Trey Hazel making his debut out of Bushiban. Trey, or Robert Hazel III, will be making his debut versus Christian Lira, which is also from Gold Team. So there again, we have Makako's Gold Team versus Bushiban. Again, going to be a great battle. Another debut fight for the night. Who knows? Flip a coin. Our co-main event of the night is going to be Chad Box versus Danny Orr. Now, if you remember, I told you that Danny Orr had fought in our event before against Tyler Morrison. Since Danny has gone on to become the light heavyweight champion of CDM, Chad Box came in originally to fight for SCC for the 185 belt. There was a bad break that night. His opponent in the first round, the first few seconds, fell to the ground. His arm was broken. Andrew Miller. Andrew's a really great opponent, a really tough fighter. It was very sad for both fighters. Nobody came away with a win. Nobody came away with a loss. Chad Box actually stepped down to finish his trilogy in our last fights versus his longtime competition, Travis Moore. Travis beat him in 5 hard-fought rounds by split decision. And Chad has decided that he would like to step up to 205, 35 pounds heavier than the last time he fought, to take on Danny Orr. So we're bringing in Danny Orr from right here out of Lake Jackson, who's 205, light heavyweight champ already. Chad currently holds the belt for another promotion at the 185 spot. So Chad is going to fight again out of his normal fight weight. What, 20 pounds heavier this time instead of 15 pounds lighter. And Chad's going to step up and fight Danny Orr. Chad always brings a fight, and Danny always brings a fight. Again, this one started out with Danny Orr heavily favored, and the more odds that's continue to come in, put them back close to even. I think Danny right now is leading the, I guess what you would call the MMA elites percentage for being the favorite in the fight for right now. But watch out, because when Chad comes, he doesn't know what quit is. I look for Chad to be a tough match. I'm really excited to see this one. And when Chad drops back to fight at his 185 normal weight, I really, who can ever say what's going to happen in that? You can never pick what will happen in these fights, and I'm really excited to see these two fight. I'd like to talk about the main event now. I could not tell you how happy I am to be able to put this main event together. I think it's pro card worthy. I think anyone would be glad to have this match. SEC heavyweight champion Jeremy Hardy, 5-1. His only loss is to great fighter Eric Lunsford, that fought, I don't know, 2 or 3 events ago. Eric Lunsford is now 4-0 pro. So Jeremy's only loss is definitely been taken care of, and Eric's showing he's the real deal, being 4-0. Jeremy now 5-1. Will step up against Jason the Predator Preston from Tyler, Texas. He's fighting out of Las Vegas. He trains with Extreme Couture, so he's training at Randy Couture School. I was able to meet Jason, or find out about Jason, when I was down in Tyler the last time I was there. And I contacted Jason and said, I have a great opportunity for you. I'd like to bring you in. I truly believe that this is the battle for the best amateur heavyweight there is. I believe this is as good as any pro heavyweight bout there will be. Jason normally would fight at super heavyweight, over 265. He is the Tough Enough Las Vegas super heavyweight champion, and Jeremy is the heavyweight champion for SCC for a second time. I cannot say enough about this match to have him come in. I think it's going to be war. I think it's going to be battle. I know that Jason right now is in Vegas training at the Couture camp. He's flying in the night before the weigh-ins, and he's coming down to get acclimated and prepared to be here. I know that Jeremy has been training over at 4 Ounce. He's been training with Derek Lewis. He's been training with Drew Radicic at American Combative, and he's been training in his normal gym under Zolfi at Bushiban. Jeremy's getting a lot more training than he's probably ever gotten. I know he's going to be ready. I know Jason's going to be ready. This one, again, it started out with, believe it or not, is Jeremy is the underdog, coming right here from home. Again, it went back to Jeremy the favorite, and it's at 50-50. And from the word I got today, it's not moving from 50-50. There's not anyone that is willing to pick the winner of this fight. What I'm being told, this fight, no one can pick, and everyone cannot wait to see. It's getting national attention with Jason coming out of Vegas and being out of Texas, and with Jeremy coming. It's going to be a battle. I say get your tickets and be there, because you're going to want to see this. SCC could not exist without its sponsors. We've been very fortunate over the last couple of years to get our sponsors. Designer Smiles. Designer Smiles is a dentist out of the Clear Lake Webster area. Every fighter needs a dentist. Everybody that's not a fighter needs a dentist, and is the best I've ever seen. They even do custom mouthpieces. I would say you definitely need to go down and go see Ann at Designer Smiles. Look them up. They'll be at the fights. Get your picture with them. Say hello. Also, I want you to support Wonderful Windows and Siding. Wonderful Windows and Siding has this is their, I think, 5th event with SCC. I know that they do the best as can be on anything. It doesn't matter if you have a new house, an old house. If you need new siding, if you need new windows, they can come in. They can definitely make your house that looks old look brand new from the outside. They do an awesome job. I've personally seen their work. I love them. I love everything about them. They're a great sponsor, and they're a great company. We have DigiWorld Media. DigiWorld Media has done SEC's website. They do a lot of commercials for us. I can tell you that DigiWorld Media does way more than websites, even though that's what they do for us. They also do great filming. They do great commercials. You need to go and check them out. Go to their website. Check out DigiWorld Media. We have Slowpoke Barbecue Sauce. This is Slowpoke's second event to do with SCC. They will be on site again that night selling their barbecue sauce. The last time they were there, I know they did phenomenal in sales, and I know that the people, that the feedback we got said that their applesauce was great. It was awesome on crackers, chicken. It didn't matter. I actually tried it and did it myself. I keep it now. It's a wonderful barbecue sauce to have. You really should try it out. Hopefully they'll become a household name before long, because they're way better than your normal place. You can never do without a weigh-in sponsor. And SCC is so glad this time to have Contender Sports Bar in Galveston. Contenders will also be where the after party is. The weigh-ins will be on Valentine's Day, the day before the fights, on February 14th. And we're very excited to have them. It's going to be awesome to be there, and I hope everyone can come out and support them on Valentine's Day. If not, and see the weigh-ins, and if not, then be there for the after party at the after the main event on the Saturday night, the 15th. But Contenders is definitely a great place to be. SCC will be having the 3 title belts that we previously talked about. You could not have title belts, and you could not have as nice as title belts as SCC has without a great sponsor like Lewis Diamonds and Timepieces. I can tell you this from being with Slade over at Lewis Diamonds and Timepieces several times. They have a budget for everyone. If you're a millionaire, they got you covered. If you're a thousandaire, they got you covered. And if you're broke like me, they got you covered. So I would say go over to Lewis Diamonds and Timepieces. They are a belt sponsor. They are one of our greatest sponsors, and they have a great selection to check from, and our belts are actually on display there this week.